I didn't announce it though. So I got 0 people in here.
Yeah, it's down to 33 people will come back.
Share. Twitter.
He's never had a game before, so. Sure.
I think Mike looks like he would be in risky business with you.
Blue light on the back. Will you plug this in here?
Gotta have my shoes off for that.
Is the blue light on there?
Negative.
Make the blue light come on.
I pushed the big button, no blue light came on. Oh, now it's on.
All right. 38 people back in here. So the stream died. The phone died.
Damn.
They're probably gonna die again because that's my luck. Can't get this thing to balance right now. Trying to get it to balance. I need a stronger gimbal.
Are you on?
Hello again, guys. Trying to get the gimbal to balance.
That was our
here.
first.
So
That was our virginal.
an issue with
Okay.
using all the adapters is that the phone will like slowly lose its ability to charge, so my phone died. So I don't have a mic right now, so that's why the audio is different. But I want to stay in here a little bit longer. I'm petting.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
I'm petting Nova here. Nova.
I'll tell you guys, seriously, if you want to change your lives overnight and become
It's a lover. It's a lover dog. It's a good
I'm
dog.
in this channel.
Oh, we could do this channel, the group.
What's that?
We could do the group.
The group now? Let's do it.
Hey, peeps, would you?
I agree with you 100%. Just let it soak in like you would and just listen to it. Because the stories are crazy. I mean, there is crazy ass shit about that book.
I need to get bigger, heavier gimbal. There's 36 of you in here, but no chats at all. Talk with me, people. We're having a chat night. Nolan, finally I'm back. Yeah, my phone. Once I solve all the problems, I'm going to be the streaming guru. I'm going to teach everybody how to do it. Because I've dealt with all the issues. Dark wires, let's do it. Throw me your questions. Throw me your questions. Throw me your questions, people.
I think that's good advice. I think that's great advice. The book is telling you already know.
Sneak.
No,
Sneak.
you have no excuse.
Hello.
And it causes you to face that. Yeah. Sorry, I go on.
We're gonna put this chat on live, so let's not talk over each other too much.
Okay. Are y'all still live? Or?
Yeah, we went back.
Oh, nice.
Okay, hold, stand by.
I don't know if this is going to work very well without the
I just
microphones.
want to say nothing but respect to you guys. I mean, this is, these are hard times we're going through. It is a revolution, I guess.
Revolution.
Is approaching. These are the best times ever. The revolution won't happen. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, we're in revolution in the sense of like
philosophical. Yeah.
Yeah, philosophical thought. We're all like, revolution, I guess, is the wrong word. Just like shooting somebody with the wrong example. So I apologize.
In your chat,
I like awakening.
Stella
I like awakening.
Skincare talked about. She said all
yeah,
live streamers today are tripping. I'm watching Portland streamers and lots went offline. You want to talk about that? Why there are hardly any more Portland streamers?
So a lot of people are talking about
Aren't they all arrested?
the streamers.
Yeah, where's Eric?
Arex. I think I saw. I'm not always sure what she looks like. I think Arex was up in Seattle yesterday filming me. I think I got her on my stream filming me. But a lot of people are mentioning online right now that stuff's going down in Portland tonight, and that there's no streamers, and where are they all at? So I don't know. I don't know, because the last couple times I've been out during the riots, I've had like a conscience. A crisis of conscience, because there were more people out there videoing then there were people not videoing. And
Villain, is that you talking?
that is me. I'm villain. Yep.
Oh, hey, yes, I would agree, and I think that has been noted for the very small portion of Americans that have been actually following, is that, yeah.
I lost you.
Yeah, it happens a little bit.
I'm saying it did start to look like there were more streamers than protesters at a certain point in the last 4 months.
Yeah, the last time I went out to one of the riots was downtown on the South Waterfront in front of the ICE building. And it wasn't just an optic. There were 75% of the people down there, at least, were filming and streaming. And just a quarter of the people down there were not filming or recording in any way. So it was weird.
Yeah.
It's that you see those memes and those little animated cartoons online that try to describe the decay of social media, and it shows like pictures of society where everybody's watching something really bad happening and nobody's interacting with it, nobody's stopping it, and they're all just filming it. And it really creeped me out watching so many people streaming the situation down there. But that's been the regular case recently.
I think
Somebody
recording and
commented that
streaming
they
is the
felt
best thing you can kind of do right now. Because this is the first time in pretty much modern history where it's being recorded live as it happens. We're not waiting a day to hear the news. We're not waiting weeks to hear the news. We're getting it right there within seconds of it happening. And it's incredible how we have so many camera angles and so much footage of what's actually happening. Truly, this is the first time in American history where this is happening on a large scale, at least.
Here.
Well, yeah, to this degree. But also, we had mainstream media because of our rights, and now we get to see our children voting. And actually, things fire out. I mean, we had riots here in Cincinnati in 2001, and it wasn't the social media that we have today. And I've often wondered if we had social media back in 2001 like we did today, would the riots have lasted longer? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I came to that question like a month ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause you guys for just a second. Give me just a second to do a technical thing here to make sure. Can you... Give me 1 second, guys. Changing up my setup here.
But
Let's hit the conversation.
Portland's been brewing for a long time and off of the nation's radar. So I think it is important that it's been brought to our attention.
So, okay, I'm back now. I've got it all set up. What I was mentioning was about a month ago, I started having a really, really deep crisis of conscience about filming this stuff. Because I wasn't sure. I started noticing a lot of people were commenting and showing that they were just watching my stream for entertainment. It was like riot porn. And then MIT put out an article saying that the streamers were kind of like giving energy to the riots. Mm-hmm. And I started questioning that and like, am I just making this stuff continue to happen by giving it attention? And it really, really bothered me, and I questioned it really, really deeply to my core. But I came to the point where I originally started from, back in the end of May, and this stuff was happening secretly off a camera, and I went out to just watch it myself. And when nobody was streaming it, the news media was presenting it in a way that wasn't true. They were lying. And so that's why I started streaming it. And so that's my base starting point. So when I get into those weird questions, am I helping this keep going on? I can't compare it to a utopia or some perfect system, I have to compare it to what was actually happening. And when people weren't streaming it, the news media was putting out propaganda and lying to the populace, and they had nothing to go with. So we fear that when we judge it and we criticize ourselves, we fear that if we don't stream, that there would be perfection. But we have to actually compare it to what actually happened and what actually happens in reality. When we don't stream, the network news agencies get to make their own narrative, and they get to manipulate us. So I came to that, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep streaming it.
If it wasn't for the streamers, you would have that. The chaos would be even worse. People learn really quick. Just having a telephone on them could implicate them into something. And so, no, actually, I think you guys kind of calmed things down. Sure, you added a lot of people to it for the fame, but they're harmless, you know, they're just out for the shits and giggles. Everybody's bored.
Well, I'm guilty. I'm addicted to riot porn. I mean, I'm going on 140 nights of watching all the streamers, but I agree with, I don't know your name, sir, like what you said. It needed to get out. And Villain, you got it out to us. I mean, you really did.
Yeah.
I mean,
without the crap.
Yeah.
You told us the truth. And I like the streamers that do sit. I mean, I love the interaction because I want to hear the conversation. But I also personally just like being able to sit back and hear, you know, what they are saying. And they sound ignorant.
Yeah, I walk back and forth on that line, and I try to.
Ignorance not a nice word.
I try to figure out where like my right role in this is, because a lot of people tell me that I should be like a true. They claim a true journalist is going to be out there and not put themselves in the situation at all, but then. Like when people were getting beat up, or when Katie was getting maced yesterday and a mob was surrounding her, I stepped in and I put an end to that. And when people are getting shot, I turn off my journalistic role and I put in a helper role. And technically, as far as journalism goes, that's not what I'm supposed to do. But I'm a streamer and I give commentary, so I've been trying to navigate that really hard. And what I'm coming to more and more,
you're a human.
Yeah, what I'm coming to more and more is that I'm out there doing what I'm gonna do, and I'm sharing that with people. So I'm trying to go away from like the journalism title, and just like, hey, I'm gonna go out and witness this stuff, and I'm gonna interact with these people, and I'm gonna let people watch what I'm doing.
What is a journalist? He's a professional witness, he or she. A journalist is a professional witness, and a witness tells the truth. Just because you have a take on it, the thing you saw, and you comment on, that doesn't make it not the truth. And that is not illegal. It is not unprofessional. It is not journalism. It is journalism. You see what you see. You tell the world what you see. From the days of old, they wrote it in books.
I agree. And I've been trying to share my opinion with people. And I'm biased in my opinion, but on my filming, I'm trying not to be biased on my filming. I don't want to turn my camera away. I do turn my microphone off and turn my camera away when I'm talking to someone privately, and I'm arranging an interview, or I'm arranging a meetup outside of the protest, and personal things that don't need to go online. But as far as the activities that happen in these events, I try very hard not to censor them. I try very hard not to turn my camera away.
I would say you walk a better line than the Antifa people, who I appreciate seeing their streams too, but they're literally taking part in the riot and acting like they're journalists. And at least you're kind of staying somewhat central.
Right, that's the difference. We
lost her. But yeah,
Yeah.
I will toot my own horn, and I have broken no windows. I have looted no buildings. I have burnt no buildings. I have attacked nobody. I don't mean to say that I'm a virtuous person, but I mean, if it makes me a saint for not having attacked people or burning buildings down, well, I guess that makes me a saint. That's a pretty low bar, though.
And I think
No. I think the difference is you didn't film yourself,
Talk.
giving the thumbs up in front of a burning building. You filmed the people that were doing it. That's the difference, I think.
The other problem in Portland is early on in the protests, if you don't remember, the federal court gave the press a free pass to do anything and everything. Police could not have them leave. And probably about a month and a half ago, they dropped that. Like, they renewed that several times.
They just renewed it the other day.
Again?
Yep. Press in
What,
Portland
so
are
anybody
now
and everybody can be
immune from any dispersal disorders.
I'll have to look it up because last night they dispersed press.
Yeah.
Again at North Precinct.
I just read it the other day that they put out another declaration to where
And
press are.
I know they were going to look at it and
that's
actually
what-
define what press was, because
I was going to say, that's what happens when you give an inch, people will take a mile. And that's what happened.
Well, another thing to be a devil's advocate here is I'm a constitutionalist, and if you read the amendment, the First Amendment, the press is not some corporation. It's
The people.
the right of the individual to proclaim their voice and their perspective. So
So you're saying you don't have to go to college to be press?
no.
no, like you don't there like. The standard would be like the old standard would be like CNN, ABC, NBC. You don't have to have a college degree to get that job. It might make you
I'm
more
being
hireable, but
facetious. I'm being facetious.
I thought you were. But
You got Gary here that asks you point the camera at the ground when Antifa demands so they can commit crimes unhindered.
Gary says
Right,
I point the camera at the ground.
People
Yeah.
using press to
I don't-
commit.
I'm gonna address a question here that's coming up in chat. There's a guy named Gary that's accusing me of pointing the camera at the ground when Antifa demands so that they can commit crimes.
Yeah,
I have
unhindered.
never done that. There have been times where I have talked to patriots or I have talked to Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and they said that they didn't want to be on camera. And so I took the camera off of them so I could have a dialogue with them. But I have never once turned the camera away to avoid people trying to do a crime. If you want to do a crime on my camera, that's your business. If you didn't come masked up, that's your business. Sol Luna one time called out people because they were coming after him for filming. And he said, if you didn't come up with a good mask game, that's your fault. It's not my fault that you got caught on my stream. You're gonna do some crimes and you didn't think to put a mask on or get covered up. That's your fault. But
Okay.
I've never
to
turned my
come back
camera away
from-
from a crime. I've turned my camera away from people that are willing to talk to me and to respect them. And if they're gonna give me a dialogue and they don't want to be on camera, all right, I'll turn the camera away so I can talk to them. But you're not gonna. If you're gonna try to intimidate me from filming something, you better jump me because I'm gonna keep filming until you jump me.
Well, that's
Dylan,
no
do you mind if I
different than
ask
the journal when we had, when journalists before social media went over to like Iraq. I mean, they put their life on the line. You're putting your life on the line to give us the news and give us the reality. I mean, you're giving America a front row seat in what's happening and let us all know that we don't want to be Portland. Like, I don't want to live in Portland, and thanks to your streaming and you showing us the truth, it makes me more vocal in my community to say, hey, is this what we want to be?
Wait, are you from
And-
California? Because like 40% of the recent people that have moved here are from California. That's the issue.
You're saying people that moved to Portland are
Yeah,
from California?
Yeah, Portland has grown so rapidly Yeah, look at Villain with his big ass flask.
Well,
Portland
I don't
has
know, but you know,
grown-
that's interesting you say that. No, I live in Ohio and I live in Cincinnati and I just renewed
Yeah.
my license.
Well, I mean, I don't
and
want to
the
be
girl-
mean to
the girl behind the
Californians.
counter,
About Villain. I love
well, the girl behind the counter was like, "Oh my God, we have all these people coming here from Illinois. So there's a lot of migration going on around." And
Whoa.
You turned into a robot girl. I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening, but it's robot sounds.
I mean, part of the issue is Portland's grown so fast.
I got a little glass, a little bit of whiskey with me, just a little bit. Just get a hip flask. Like, I can have a flask of whiskey. That's not wrong, right? They said I could bring a flask. I brought a flask.
I think she broke up. But I mean, part of the problem is so many people have moved to Portland from other areas in the last 5 years, and they actually looked at it, and 40% of those people are from California. And so when you have that large of an influx, there's going to be some change in like the imprint of your community. We have people that live here in Oregon that don't recognize it.
The Americans, or are they foreigners from California?
I think you got to restart your Discord or something, girl. We can't tell what you're saying. It just sounds like robot. But I'm going to take a break here real quick, and I'm going to reply to Jessica Wright. She says, Villain's mask may come off after one more drink. Laugh out loud. My underwear may come off after one more drink, Jessica.
No, keep that on.
Jessica.
I mean, hey, that's one type of reporting.
No, my question is, are the people from California, are they like Americans or are they foreign?
Yeah, no, they're Americans. Like, do you remember that damn sitcom Portlandia? They seem to think that that's how Portland is, and they literally are coming in here and making it their destiny. Like, it's bizarre.
Well, I find that interesting because in Cincinnati we've always been Republican, conservative, and we have a very Democrat liberal city council. They always talk about Portland, and I've been like, do we really want to be like Portland? But that's been like the what's the word? Like somehow we need to be like Portland, and we're all like, no, you know, we don't want to be like Portland. We want to be.
Yeah,
so
well,
I guess Portland is like a utopia of, well,
we've always been a little weird. We do admit that, and we like our freedom of speech and liberties, but like, it's a little over the top at this point.
oh, right. Like we have a streetcar now. The reason we have a streetcar is because everyone in Portland has a streetcar. So now all of our taxes are going to a streetcar.
Well, maybe Portland, or maybe California sent all their blue people to Portland. I don't know.
And Villain, actually, both of y'all, could I ask a question? Y'all don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but during the riots, do you carry any sort of firearm, mace, or anything to protect yourself?
People have been asking me about that today. I discussed it on my stream today. I take that as it comes.
Okay.
I am a gun owner. I'm a very strong proponent of the Second Amendment, but I also realize that I am putting myself in situations that most people don't put themselves into. I also realize that my actions can create the energy to pop off these mobs. I'm hit and miss. Sometimes I bring a gun, sometimes I bring mace, sometimes I go in nothing. Today in Portland, I went in with nothing. Molly's over there.
Yeah, I have a gun.
Girls carry guns too.
But
I'm not responsible.
today I
I'm
went
not
in with nothing
responsible.
because I felt like it was the right situation. I don't carry lightly. I don't arm myself lightly. My default is to let people attack me and beat me. I'm not saying that I'm a pacifist, but when I carry, it's a very heavy mental process I go through before I do
depends
that.
on the mood. I avoid. Well, being a man and being a woman is different, but I avoid the bad parts of town. And when I go get my weed on the corner in the ghetto, I bring my German Shepherd.
Hey, more power to everybody who owns a firearm and is able to protect yourself. Man, woman,
I mean,
literally.
I am not responsible for other people's reactions.
That's sexy.
Hey, Villain,
Yeah.
what's the worst scene you've been in so far, bro?
The worst scene I've been in?
Yeah, what's the worst scene, man? The one that gave the heebie-jeebiest.
That's a good question. Let me think about that.
Point it away from people, right?
Did I do
Louisville. Louisville, when I was downtown.
Oh shit!
When
yeah.
when it got really hot, YouTube deleted that stream and I wasn't able to save it. And I've got a little bit of it saved on my GoPro footage, but there was about 30 minutes in Louisville where it looked like people were just gonna start murdering each other on both sides. Everybody was taking like defensive stances, and
Yeah, I saw that.
that was
got
crazy, you guys. Like being there, like my
heart
heart
was
was
racing
beating
just watching
hard. Yeah, I thought I was about to be part of an atrocity.
Do you think that's because you were an outsider?
Press it with my
Oh, that's
taint.
cool. Your taint.
This is your taint.
Because Louisville, I mean, like, say,
But maybe not yours.
Louisville didn't want you there.
That's what we call it in range.
Your taint.
Well, Louisville was
I'm just,
no the rioters didn't want us there, and fuck the rioters. They didn't want the law enforcement there. They didn't want the police there. So
but they live there.
what?
The difference I think between Louisville and everywhere else is that Louisville, those people are actually from there. Like Louisville, they're from there. That's their battle. They don't want INFAC there. They don't want Portlanders there. Louisville is like, this is our problem. We're gonna deal with it. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's the same thing that Antifa in general, Black Lives in general. We want to control the narrative. We're the victim, and nobody else gets to have a say. We're gonna frame the narrative, and nobody else gets to come in here. Breonna Taylor was a criminal. She slept with a gangster. She chose the gangster lifestyle. She died by the direct result of her choices. She was not a victim. Breonna Taylor is not a victim of police brutality. Breonna Taylor was not a victim of state overreach. Breonna Taylor chose the gangster lifestyle, and she fucked around and found out.
I love that phrase. Fuck around and find out. I love that.
I agree. Absolutely.
And all those idiots in Louisville, that are rioting and protesting for months on end, they don't give a damn about truth or facts or any of that. They want a reason to let loose the dogs of war within their heart, and they don't want any justification for it. They just want to they want to rage on the world.
Well, and those are the bottom feeders of Louisville. But wouldn't you say overall that Kentucky compared to Kentucky's like, get out of here?
What's your name, miss? Who am I talking to? What's your name?
Academia.
Academia. Did you see my stream? Did you see my stream in Louisville?
I have watched all of Louisville streams, and honestly, I can't say which exact stream you're talking about.
The day that Angry Viking and the militia walked into downtown Louisville. Did you see that day?
Oh, when Angry Villain was there, or Angry
Angry Viking.
B. B.
Well, he came there to meet with INFAC, and neither one of them were from Louisville.
You didn't answer the question. Did you watch that stream that day?
If you were speaking, then your mic cut out, Academia.
Yes, I did. When Angry Viking showed up to stand off with NFAC.
So you saw the stream when they met up at Jefferson Park. They call it Injustice Park now. You saw that day?
Yeah, when Angry Viking and NFAC showed up for the... You're talking about the Derby?
Yeah, the day of the Derby.
And Angry Viking retreated?
That shows your perspective a little bit, but they went in and showed their perspective, and then they retreated. Yeah.
Yeah, and the protesters that have been down there in Louisville told Angry Viking what was up, and he fell for it when he should have stood up to NFAC. Yeah, I watched it.
That's a lot of opinion there. That's a lot of opinion there.
Here's the thing, is that neither one of those groups are from Louisville. And, you know, I've been...
No. I'm going to correct you. So Angry Viking and the NFAC never interacted. They never interacted. NFAC said...
because Louisville stopped them, right? The protesters let them, right?
You gotta let me talk for a second. So the NFAC was supposed to meet up with Angry Viking, and they didn't show up. They backed out. So Angry Viking marched into downtown Louisville to Jefferson Square, which they now call Injustice Square. And the people that have been protesting Breonna Taylor for months on end were the ones that squared up with Angry Viking's crew and his militia. Things got very, very, very heated. Angry Viking's militia showed great restraint, and they tried to have dialogue. Angry Viking and a couple other of his lead militiamen took their guns off to try to show peace. There's that famous picture of the black man and Angry Viking shaking hands. That event, that moment, got so heated that there was almost a full-on gun battle. There were heavy arms on both sides. And so why we're talking about this right now was somebody asked me what was the most sketchy, heated situation I've been in, and it was that 30 minutes. There was 30 minutes where it looked like people were going to start shooting each other. The Patriots ran up to the steps of the monument building there and took cover behind the pillars. The Breonna Taylor activists took covers on the lowland, and they were ready to shoot each other for about 30 minutes. It was all rules are gone out the window. Luckily, nothing happened. So, your argument, Academia,
but why
was that...
didn't anything happen? Nothing happened because Angry Viking retreated, right?
No, that was after the fact. It calmed down before they decided to leave the area. It calmed down. Level heads prevailed. I think that everybody was scared. Everybody was scared that the other side was going to start shooting. But the other side on both sides never started shooting, so it calmed down.
Antagonizers trying to fire that thing off.
That's too. Kentucky, though. I mean, that's Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky, like, they don't play. I mean, I was ready. I was tuned in, ready for a gun battle, and was hoping that people would get that, honestly. I mean, a lot of people I know.
Why would you hope for a gun battle?
That's
Hoping for violence is not a good thing.
Why do we take out the enemy? Why do we take out the enemy?
Americans is their plan. They're not the enemy.
Look,
it shouldn't
yeah,
matter.
I live on the border of Cincinnati and Kentucky, Ohio and Kentucky, and people in Kentucky, I mean, you're talking, they ain't Portlanders. They don't eat soy, you know, they don't do shit for 140 days. They take care of business. So,
Yeah, you
I
don't
think
understand
that's-
Portland either.
Not everybody in Portland eats soy.
Look, no matter.
I don't eat.
No matter
I don't.
if
Hey guys,
you
don't be
are
mean.
for
I don't
BLM
eat
and
soy.
Antifa, or if you're against them and with the Patriots, hoping for
against
violence is
BLM
not the
and
way to go.
Antifa, but if
Either
something
way,
goes
hoping for
down,
violence is
I
not the
will go
answer.
to-
I like meat.
If I'm worried about my safety, I'm going to go to Kentucky before I go to Portland. Like, that's a
your
fact.
decision.
Well, you're talking about a big city. You're comparing.
me
You're
and
comparing a
the whole
state to.
tri-state
You're
area
comparing
that I
a
live
state
in.
to a big city. Are you gonna go to the backwoods of Kentucky, or are you gonna go to Nashville? Because in Oregon, you can go to Eastern Oregon to the high plains out in the middle of nowhere, or you can go to Portland. Portland is very, very different across the state. Portland is not representative of the entire state of Oregon.
My friend lives
But
like a good
Kentucky's
30 minutes
more
away from
black-
Portland, and she's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Yeah,
There's
it's not that far of a drive out of Portland to be in the middle of nowhere.
You could go 30 minutes, probably a few directions, and be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why Portland is such a beautiful place. That's why so
Well,
many
isn't
people
that
loved
pretty
it,
much all
because
of America?
you can live in
But
Portland.
isn't
You can
that-
be an hour away from the beach. You can be an hour away from the mountains. You can be an hour away from the middle of nowhere in Washington. You can be an hour away
10
from the
minutes
middle of
away from
nowhere.
sailing.
Yeah,
You can be everywhere.
Portland is like a unique
okay, but
situation.
I'm saying Louisville is not dealing with what Portland is dealing with, right?
I don't know if any other city is dealing with what Portland's dealing with. We're about 5 years ahead of everybody with how Antifa has infiltrated our local government. That's the problem here.
Something that I'm
Yes,
worried
and
about.
that's why I said I think it's great that it's being exposed. Right.
Something
Everyone
I'm
wants
worried
to
about
make
if we don't put
Portland
a
out
stop
be
to
a
it.
utopia.
So the organization and the things that we're seeing from Antifa
Okay, but
today.
Hold on.
No, you got to hold on a
But
second.
here's
No.
where
So, Antifa has been going around for like 5 years. And it turns out that they've been active in Oregon for more than 10 years. So you look at the Irish IRA and how organized they got over the decades and the war they had between the Protestants and the Catholics. I know they've been around for about 10 years, but actively for about 5 years, Antifa in Portland. And they're starting to show these kind of organizations. You can see like they come up in these shields. They when they get a call out, they show up in mass numbers. They have uniforms. There's organization there. That's 5 years. If we don't put a quash to this in another 5 years, or in 10 years, in 15 years, they're going to have an army. They're going to have lieutenants. They're going to have war-torn soldiers that have experience. We need to put a stop to this right now. That whole Antifa is an idea. It's a philosophy. That's bullshit. And any politician that tells you that, you need to reject them. Honestly, I think that politicians that betray the populace need to be hanged. So any politician that says that the Antifa is just an idea, those motherfuckers need to be hanged in the public square. They're betraying the safety of the civilization.
I totally agree.
and I
feel like the words "we the people" have gone down the shitter. Politicians and
but we the
lot
people.
of
Well,
people.
but there's we the people of Portland, we the people of Louisville,
we the people of the United States of America. We should not be divided. It should not be we the people of Portland, we the people of Kentucky, we the people of Virginia. It should be we the people of the United States of America.
Exactly.
Why?
It should not be
How are you gonna say
divided.
that's how it should be? No, that's not how it should
Because
be. We
It
have
should
50,
be.
no.
We should be united into one country.
She believes
Why?
segregation.
We don't need to be united. Look, we spar
You wanna go
with,
back to
you
the
don't-
days of the
growing
Articles
up,
of
you don't
Confederation?
spar with- You don't spar with your local growing up. You know, you've got this neighborhood against that neighborhood. Portland's.
What the fuck?
I'm saying it's different in Kentucky. Kentucky is not Oregon.
Nonsense.
Kentucky will never be Oregon.
Congratulations.
300.
Okay.
And I think that's very interesting that you say that that was the scariest moment of all these times, because we're sitting here in Ohio like, come on, Louisville,
It's crazy.
shut this down.
Shit, I'm sorry I
Get
asked the
them all out of
question.
there.
Listen, a traitor to Portland is a traitor to Louisville. End of story.
Thank you.
Thank
Because
you.
you do have some people
but
here in
don't-
Portland
but
that
you
don't
can't
agree
go to
with
other
this.
cities.
You have some
Well,
Okay,
people
but
here in
you're saying
Portland
that.
that don't agree with what's going on.
The
And
majority.
I would say probably the majority. But they're afraid because people get doxxed, people get pizzas ordered for them, they get 500 phone calls a day, they get their information blasted out to their work, everything else, you know? I mean, they make people look like shit.
And that's part of the reason why I feel like
I
so
feel
conflicted
sorry
about my
for you
mask
guys.
right now. I want to
But
take
you
this
said-
off.
okay, but
I
you
want to take
guys
my
said
mask off,
earlier-
and I want to give people the courage to like just get out there and show their face, but I have to be rational,
Well,
and
you
the
have-
pros do not
Wait,
outweigh
wait,
the cons
you
right now.
guys just
I'm keeping the
said
mask
that
on.
A bunch of people from California moved to Portland.
Yeah,
You guys just said a bunch of people from California moved to Portland. Do
exactly.
you think a bunch of people in Louisville? Do you think people in Louisville want Portlanders coming there? No, no, we don't.
Well, I don't.
What is that?
I don't know
Well-
how many would be
Well,
going
Well,
there.
let's actually address. You're being emotional. You're being emotional. Let's address what you're saying. You're claiming that people in Oregon don't want Californians moving to Oregon and bringing their lifestyle permanently to Oregon, but you're trying to associate that with people coming to Louisville for a rally, and I would argue that I would assume that the majority of people in Louisville don't want those bastards downtown rioting and looting and protesting for months on end. So if there are people from Portland, like there were like a couple people from Portland, Angry Viking and his crew is not from Portland. I'm a streamer, and my friend Black Conservative Preacher was a streamer. We're both from Portland, and we came to that event. But most people from other places in the country, I would assume that most of the people in Louisville were glad that we were there to stand up against those rioters and those anarchists. So you're making a false comparison. California's moving into Oregon and bringing their failed policies with them, that's one thing. People from across the country coming to Louisville to stand up against the rioters and the looters and the criminals and the anarchists, that's completely different, and there's no way to compare those two things. You're making a false comparison. Shame on you.
Well, and part of it is
No,
like.
I agree.
Hold
I
on,
agree.
it's like
Intention.
Portland. If they came in and they assimilated to what it's like to be in Portland, instead of coming in and going, "You guys are racist," then maybe I wouldn't be so pissed off at all these fucking Californians.
Yeah, I agree, and it's the same thing with the Mexican border wall. If these people want to come in and assimilate their life to the U.S. and they want to come in legally, we are glad to have them. But if they come in, if they want to make if they want to make California Mexico again, you can stay on the other side of the fence as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I think that's something we can all agree on, right?
I wish that was the case, but no. People are making the case that we need to give California back to Mexico, even though they lost the war, the Mexican-American War. People are trying to. There's a big movement in Southern California for what is called Reconquista. Like the Hispanics in Southern California are trying to make a movement. It's a big movement. It's not a small thing. The media isn't touching on it, but they are trying to take over the southwest of America back and give it back to a Mexico. A war was fought, and we won. And those losers are still not accepting it hundreds of years later.
You know what's messed up, man? live here in the Southwest, and I'm getting older. Hold on, 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
God, it's a puppy.
Love it.
Oh my God, it's adorable.
See, I was gonna make it all like a big old statement. It was all profound and shit. Then you had to bring a dog on.
Excuses,
ruined me.
excuses.
Going.
No, all right. I live in the Southwest, and I'm older, and so half my family's Mexican. And the city I live in, you can't swing a cat without hitting them. And it was never a problem back. For 300 years, it was a problem. They come up here, steal our trucks, and sell us some weed. We went down there when we did any felonies, right? And it wasn't a great arrangement, but it was an amicable arrangement. They come up here and work. And here's the thing: all those little towns, Tijuana, Laredo, and all of those border towns, all up and down California and Texas, they're screwed. Those people have been making a living just hopping over the fence, no problem. Coming over here, making a living, shipping some stuff back, no big deal. Then they come back. They come up in here, get married, and, move to the United States, and it was never a problem until they politicized this border. You start trying to ram the caravans up here and fill in the plate full of, let's say, let's just call them what they are. Communist infiltrators from South America and other parts of the world. And now all of a sudden, nobody can get over. And those poor are stuck fighting for what little bit of welfare is left between them and the stranded caravans and everybody else there. And nobody can make a living there now. So shout out to my illegal brothers, would come over here and do things the American way. You know what I mean? And make it a living here and not cause problems. But are screwed now because of these politics, and they're being used just like everybody else.
No, you're right.
We lost you.
You lost her again.
No, I'm done.
No,
That's it. It's fucked up.
Dylan,
Didn't
can I
that
ask
happen
you
in
a question?
2009 with Obama, with the immigrants, when he said, we've always had South American immigrants that stuff
I'm
like
just
that,
talking about the fence jumpers, the seasonal fence jumpers that are in and out in the 70s, 80s, 90s, going all the way back, man, hundreds of years actually. They're screwed now. They're screwed because of politics. Yeah, now Trump has to build the wall. Now we have to send border guards down there. Now we got to send the army down there, and all because of this political mess. And nobody's thinking about all those families down there, dirt freaking poor, whose only income was that cross-border traffic, that cross-border commerce, where they didn't have to go stand in line down at the freaking border thing for 2 weeks to get in here, and now they're just screwed.
So one of you guys asked if you could ask me a question just a second ago. Why don't you go ahead and ask that question?
Yeah. So I've seen petitions going around, and it relates to the Mexican-American War thing in California and all those former Mexican territories, I guess. I think there's a city right outside of Los Angeles called Santa Ana. And Santa Ana was a famous Mexican general during the Mexican-American War. And people had petitions to change that name to Ulysses S. Grant or Jefferson Davis or Robert E. Lee, one of the heroes from the Mexican-American War. How do you feel on changing the names of the losers in wars, whether it be the Civil War, the Mexican-American War, things like that, at least in America?
Changing the names from the winners to the losers?
No. So changing the names from Santa Ana, the loser, to, let's just say, Ulysses S. Grant, the winner.
Yeah.
And that could also be associated with the Civil War, like changing.
I think that we can answer that question by like the decentralization of federal power, and I think that we should let communities decide that for themselves. One thing that I'm seeing today that's really, to use the leftist term that's so disgusting, it's problematic. We're seeing people from all over the U.S. criticizing places where they don't live. We're seeing people from all over the world. Like, we claim that it's like humanitarian rights, but like we're saying that things shouldn't happen in Iran or Iraq, but we don't live there. We should mind our own business more. And so if some small community in America wants to live that way and people aren't being oppressed and trapped there, let them do their thing. If the South wants to have Confederate monuments, let them do their thing. Let them sort it out themselves. Like these people that are outraged over some monument that's happening, like some Portlanders are outraged over some monument that exists in Alabama. That's nonsense. But on the other side of that, what we were talking about a minute ago, like there's people coming across the U.S. to go stand up against riots in Louisville. I don't know. Are those the same thing? Is there like a wave going through the country that people are standing up against? But that city, excuse me, I got the hiccups like crazy tonight. That's a town in Southern California that's named after the losers, and most people in that town and most people in the country don't even know why it's named that way. It's just a word to them. I don't care about that. Let people in that town name their town what they want to name it.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I mean, that's liberalism, like true liberty,
Yeah.
right? To live your own life and let others live their own life. Like if you're in that town, like petition, like it bothers you, like, hey, we named our town after Stalin. Like he murdered like tens of millions of people. Maybe we should change the town name. But if you live in Sweden and you're mad that like a town is named after Stalin in Southern California, maybe you need to get your priorities straight.
I mean, would that also apply to, say, a town in central Wyoming? I don't know, just a random example, names their town after Adolf Hitler or Erwin Rommel or a high-ranking Nazi general, Heinrich Himmler, something like that. Would that be problematic, or would that be, hey, that's their town?
It's their town, man. Freedom.
Okay.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Like good ideas will flourish and bad ideas will sink. And the only thing you have to do in life, from what I think, the only really control you have on life is what your own actions. You can't control other people. You can only walk in the light of virtue that you find. You can't try to make other people do it. That just causes more problems. So I don't know. I'm not for trying to control other people. When they're directly hurting other people, yeah, you got to step in.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think?
I'm a bit torn on it because I do support people having their own rights and their own willing self to name a city what they want. I feel like it gets to a limit. I feel like since I study history a lot, I know what the side has done. I know what the Confederates have done. I know what the communists have done. I know what the Nazis did. And it bothers me when a town is named after something that, let's say, General Robert E. Lee, even though him himself wasn't a bad person, the country he fought for, which in the Civil War was the Confederacy, was a bad thing, at least in my opinion. And it kind of bothers me to know that we keep those names up of the side that lost. Or should we, not exactly glorify it, but why should we have those names of the losers of that war up on our cities? Why should it be a city hall name? Something like that.
You know, that's something.
Exactly on the other side.
The only thing I can think about, I think about two things like that. I'd be interested in hearing a lot of your views because you sound like you're informed and have a strong opinion. But the other thing is, one of the things that happened new in World War II, when it was over, is that they prosecuted the leaders of the other side. Before that war, when wars would happen, the loser and the winner was declared, and the generals and the leaders of both sides would meet together, and they would party and they'd have drinks and they congratulate each other, and they're like, oh, it was really great that you did this tactic, and it's like, oh, I really admire that you did this tactic, and they saw each other as peers. And the leaders of the wars never got in trouble. They never did. In World War II, they changed that. And that was the first time that the leaders of the wars were held accountable, and they weren't just allowed to hang out with the generals on the other side and party. They got held accountable. So that's like a new thing in the world that we need to acknowledge that is different than past, because we kind of hold the past to the standard of today, which is an error. But I don't know. Does that answer what you were talking about from my perspective?
Really, answer you give the answers. There's no direct answer. There's no right or wrong sense. It's your opinion. It's what you think, and I'll respect that, whether I agree with it or not.
So you were talking about the statues and commemorating people that were the losers on the other side of war, but that was a standard throughout history. It didn't matter who won or lost. The leaders of those wars got commemorated for their heroism, or for their tactics, or for many different things. In World War II, there was a mental shift to where we no longer venerated the leaders of the losing side. We started looking at things through a moral lens and not just this side versus that side. So today, we look at the Civil War through a moral lens, and that there was the North and they were moral, and the South that they were immoral. But that's a new lens. That's not how things were viewed back in that time period. People didn't see that. They saw it as like a tribalist thing. Like the North was one tribe, and the South was one tribe, and they both had different beliefs and different goals. And they fought each other to have dominance, but it wasn't like that mindset of I'm virtuous, I'm going to attack my non-virtuous enemy. That wasn't prominent in the world up until recently. World War II was the first time that the world as a whole started holding each other to a universal standard, and holding each other to war crimes, and prosecuting each other for war crimes. So, I don't know. So you look at those towns that were named after the losers like 150 years ago, or you look at the monuments that were named after Confederate soldiers that lost 100 years ago. That's weird. What I think is more poignant along that line of thinking is that a lot of those monuments in the South for the Confederates were placed like this century. They're placed like in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, even the 60s. And I don't understand enough about that to have an informed opinion on it, but I do understand enough about it to think like, that's a little weird. Like, why are they putting up statues of Confederate generals in 1960? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird, right? We can both agree not to come to a complete understand, a full-on hardcore opinion about that, but we can say like, that's a little strange. Like, I think I need to look into that a little bit more. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah. Well, you can add in the factor of right about then is when the civil rights movement fired up.
Yeah.
Like, recently, I think in July, my local town put a somewhat significant role in the Civil War. They just took down a Confederate statue, and it wasn't the federal government, it was the local government. He decided to do it, and I believe don't know this for a fact. Oh, excuse me. I don't know this for a fact, but I think the daughters of the Confederacy who put up the statue in the first place and funded it, they took it back. I definitely could be wrong about that, but our local government voted to take that down. So I think it should be a local thing. The federal government shouldn't have any say in what should be there, but there has to be a limit on that somewhat.
Yeah. I'm an anarchist at heart. In general, I hate the fact that there are people telling me how I can and cannot live my life when I'm not affecting them. But when you get a little bit more mature and realize that anarchism does not work, I'm for the smallest government possible. So I don't know how that relates with what we're talking about directly, but
yeah. You bring up a great point, though. I mean, the size of government is probably directly related to the number of people that you manage.
The size of government is directly related to what?
The size of government is directly related to the number of people who manage. You don't need management. I don't need management. You tell me I can carry a knife or small joint, or fine, I ain't gonna mess with you. But a lot of people in society need management, bro. Yeah, so that's how it is.
The larger the government, the more control that they have, I feel.
So, the more immoral management we are, direct result is going to be we're going to get bigger and more government. And, in a way, we deserve all of this. It is our fault, collectively, because we let it slide. We let it slide. It's no big deal. So as long as it's in the parameters, it's comfortable to you.
Well, you're touching on the baby boomers idea, and I'm not totally going to the baby boomers thought, but you let that slide, and you let that slide, and you let it slide, and then it hits you. But the thing is, that's not really what happens. You let that slide, you let that slide, you let that slide, and then hit your children. So
yeah, true.
Yeah,
True.
The newer generation are suffering the choices of the older generations.
This is true.
They sold us out, man.
Their generation before that. That's why all our grandmothers were like, "Oh my God, generation is going to hell."
Yeah, but they also sold us out, man. They sold us into debt slavery as tax slaves. They let all these social programs be given to them, and these comfortable lives being bought and paid for by taxation that we are now required to pay for.
But never forget, the United States is not wicked. We're naive. We're good-hearted, naive, easy to take advantage of, easy to pull one over. We trust the people we're supposed to trust. If you're a crook, that's who you're going to be. The gatekeeper and the one you trust. We're learning our lesson.
And that lesson is being presented pretty harshly.
We're good people. We're a good people.
Just what we get.
Yeah.
It comes down to education and how people have been raised over the last 30 years.
It's tough.
That's why people
It's the generation of the children of the baby boomers that raise the next generation and the following generation.
The ones who are teaching them now.
Yes.
The ones teaching now. Teach them. You just need a World War I gases, dude.
We always come prepared.
One weird ass way to take a shot, but I respect it.
It's a horrible way to take a shot.
I respect that.
I don't recommend it.
He's not trying to hide his identity. He's just ugly in the motherfucker.
I am. I'm an ugly man, and I don't want to lose my following for people finding out how ugly I am.
I know
it's like yuck mud and shit, dude. We just turn that shit off.
I don't know how to feel. I'm just like, I feel like as a younger person, my decisions they're changing every day. Like, just during this couple hours that I've been here, I've honestly heavily rethought of a lot of things I've thought about before. Things I thought I was stone cold cut and never going to change my idea. Having these conversations is like, hold on, wait a minute, there's another side to this that I haven't heard. Let me hear that side. And it's opened my mind to more, and I'm glad.
That's good, man. You're in a bad place when you don't when you're not malleable and you can't change. I just took a shot of whiskey out of a straw. I don't recommend you ever do that. But you're in a bad place when you are no longer teachable and you can no longer change who you are and change your views.
Yeah.
It scares me right now is there's a lot of people that I think are like that, though.
That don't. Yeah, honestly, in my generation, yeah, it's real bad. I have a lot of friends, not only at my school, but just in general, that are dead set on their ways. They are not willing to change how they think or what they think. They're dead set on what they believe and will not change. And it scares me.
I think part of that's an age thing, you know, like when you're young, you learn something and you think that that's the way everything is.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you're kind of like, well, crap, I've been wrong so many times. Maybe there's more to this.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I've seen a lot of people when they get really old, they get back stuck in their ways. So I do think it's a transition on it. So.
Villain.
My time mentioned that the YouTube's chat is disconnected.
The YouTube chat is still going on my screen.
No, it's going on mine.
When I was watching it on YouTube, it would stop on me every so often. I had to shut it and then reopen it.
But
Hey, I got another question.
Let's hear that question.
You ever met Reg Incognito?
Reg Incognito?
Yeah, Reg Incognito.
Nope.
He gets around, man, to all the hot spots, and he's a really cool cat. He helps the homeless out in LA and stuff. And, you know, but he was like a prisoner and stuff. His face is all tied up. He's got a pretty big following on his stream, especially people that restream him, because he always seems to be in the middle of wherever the gunfire goes off for some reason. But I thought you might have run into him because he gets around and he's a really nice guy and he really does a lot of outreach to the homeless. So, you know, streaming and stuff, Reg happens to be up there. Good to look out for him because he seems like your kind of people.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet.
Yeah, look him up. He's on YouTube. He's got his whole thing. He takes all his donations and he goes down to this lady down on Skid Row. He buys like new tents and gear and stuff for the homeless people down there. It's nice stuff for them. Some new beds and food packages and stuff, and then they go hand them out.
I'll check him out.
Down there.
I'm gonna do a road trip. Like my next plan, I'm gonna do a big old road trip.
He does a lot of road trips too, man. He does a lot of just walking around and meeting people and seeing the cities and stuff. He ain't all about the violence, but you know, it gets the donation, so he shows up. But he keeps it real.
if you ever go to DC Villain, tell me how it is. I haven't been there in a quick bit.
I've never been there. I've had a couple opportunities to go there. I'm probably going to go to DC for the inauguration of Trump. I'm going to go for Trump's inauguration. That's it.
That's a worthwhile trip.
Tell me how it is. I haven't been there in Jesus, I haven't been there in a while. I need to go back one of these days.
My buddy BC Preacher was there yesterday. They had the Brexit event.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring my mod Josh Ozo into the conversation here. How you doing, Josh Ozo?
Pretty good.
I'm on video if you come
Okay,
on video,
yeah.
or you can
What's
say
up,
on
guys?
audio, whatever you want.
I banned some of you guys for saying the
Put your
N-word.
mask on. Come in here. Go put a hat on. You got a hat?
I got. Hold on, I got a costume.
Loved his introduction. Just, I banned some of you for saying the N-word. Just
Didn't ban me.
I hate that stupid idea that we have to be responsible for the people that are commenting.
yeah,
Free
that's
speech. If you're gonna be an asshole, be an asshole. I didn't make you be an asshole, but
Are you retarded?
it is what it is.
Someone hit me in the head.
Are you retarded?
Where are villain's glasses? Oh, they're right here. Gee, many Christmas.
Okay. Here we go. Some my head.
Just cover your head up, man. You're gonna go anonymous. You gotta cover some stuff up. Cover
I wanna
those.
look like the Taliban.
Cover those locks up. You're trying to be
You're
all.
gonna be totally mismatched.
You're trying to like.
Erica, but
Trying to be an asshole and
Yeah.
like
Let's be honest, you don't want.
trying to glorify your
Cool, I'm
beautiful
sure I look cool.
locks of hair.
Correct.
Get over here, man. Get over here. Get on the stream.
On Facebook daily.
We got my moderator Josh
What's up,
Ozo
guys?
here.
Hey.
You look like you're wearing underwear on your head, Josh.
He does. You look like Doug Funny.
It smells like underwear a little bit. Is it?
It is.
Just leave it alone.
All right.
It's not
Nothing-
underwear, but I like to wear that on my testicles at night while I sleep.
Oh God.
Nothing can improve it.
It feels.
It's,
don't know, I
it's a
kinda like
soft
the look,
fabric,
though.
and they feel nice on my jewels.
Oh my god.
What do you guys think, chat? Is this a good look?
Don't know how to feel about this, but I feel great.
All right. So it's a good thing then.
Okay. Oh. Nova wants to be up in here with us.
Nova, get in there.
Never. Watch, she's
Come
very
on.
well trained.
Come
Come
on,
here.
Nova.
Get up here.
Nova is
Do
as
whatever.
close to feral as you could be as a dog.
Yeah, jump her.
Puppy's
Get
the
up.
real star of the show.
Yeah, she's a good dog.
Oh, it's a good pupper dog. I got your mouth. You can't open your mouth. Oh, you're biting me. All right.
She got hit by a car in the
Who's
head.
in this chat right now?
What have you been talking about?
Nothing.
Peace.
Have you been drinking with the straw out of your ginormous flask?
I took a shot.
That's a normal flask.
I drank a
Very
shot
tiny
out of a
hands.
straw, but I have not actually sucked whiskey out of my flask out of a straw.
Do you have really small hands or a really big flask?
My hands are as big as my dick.
Oh my god!
Put it up to the camera then.
So how are we gonna,
So
how are we
measure
gonna
it.
take this? That information.
You have this picture as a perspective shot.
We need something to do to.
Compared to the puppy's head.
No, that's
Yeah,
a
like
pen.
scale. Here's a pen.
Yeah.
Standard pen
Yeah,
is
we
5
need a
inches.
scale.
All right, that's about 3.5.
Quick, we need a trig expert in here.
Okay, you know what? A pendick is not a good look.
God.
My girth is
Let's put a regular size.
my girth
penis.
is better than my length. So fuck you, MM. Fuck you.
No, that's always a good thing, actually.
I'm rolling deep in the heat.
So,
Is there any ladies in
I feel
chat
like we're
that can
gonna
say
get
like
dogs
length or
because of your
girth?
dick.
What?
That's the way you're gonna get dogs. If
Length
you're ever- if
versus
your
girth.
information
They're
ever
gonna.
goes out,
I'm gonna get
it's gotta be because
doxxed.
of your
Like that would be the worst way to get doxxed. Like a picture of my dick.
Oh.
Like, we know who he is.
We know who he
The dick
is.
pic led us to his
He
address.
has a slight mole on his left testicle.
Your dick pic led us to your bank account, and now you are destroyed.
From politics to puppies to dick pics. I love it.
Yeah, you
Need a
know.
summary now.
Next, we'll have a conversation about helmet heads or anteaters.
Circumcised?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
freeze the stream here for a second on
Okay.
YouTube. Freeze the stream. I'll be right back in a second. Good phone.
Turned it in.
It's a replacement phone. Anyways, when you have Verizon Wireless and they have insurance on your phone, they give you a a third world country phone as a replacement, and it doesn't work the way the other phones work.
An Antifa phone?
Yeah, an
They
Antifa
give
phone.
you an Antifa phone.
But I'm gonna go get a new iPhone 11 tomorrow, and I'm gonna get another phone, so I'll have 2 iPhone 11s, and the streaming will be better. Hopefully. I want to show you guys my phone setup here. If you have not seen my phone setup, so
It's an abomination against God.
I've got the microphone here, another microphone. I've got the gimbal. I've got all kinds of little arms that come off of this. I've got the belt that comes off so I can take the weight on my shoulder. I've got a battery pack down here. It's there's really no right way to stream. It's just a collaboration of a bunch of craziness. And once I get all these things squared away, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to be the guru of streaming. I'm going to teach people how to do it. I have the most technical difficulties out of all the streamers. But that's because I'm actually learning how to do it.
Brag about.
Yeah.
It's only $49.99 a month to join to learn how to stream.
This is a terrible infomercial.
Josh Ozo will pleasure you.
Yeah, well,
$49.99 a month. I'll give you all the streaming
yeah.
information. And this dude,
we haven't worked out the contract yet.
Yeah,
but that, yeah,
he has no teeth.
All right, yeah.
He has no teeth. He has no teeth.
You are hammered, man.
I have a couple. I have a couple up here and a couple up here.
What's up with that lame ass picture in the background there?
Oh!
What the
Yeah, man, it
fuck?
looks like right out
This
of
picture?
That's some lame ass drawing, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
damn.
Yeah, that's just.
We
I
got
don't know.
someone
That's from
sassy
the
in
Portland
the
Art
chat.
Museum right there.
Wants to wrestle, huh?
Leave that for a second.
What
That
about
looks
that
like Walmart.com shit right there.
That one you can't get at Walmart
No.
for sure. That one.
Dude, they're roasting you. They're roasting you. They're roasting your.
That's Walmart all the way.
All right, that is not from Walmart. That is from Goodwill.
thinking
I'll
Pier
have
One.
you know. It may
Pier
have been
One.
purchased at
He
Walmart
said he was
before.
thinking Pier 1.
I'm gonna go with my instincts from now on, because when I started this stream and I looked at that in the behind me, it was like above my head. I thought maybe we take that off the wall.
Exactly.
Maybe we have a blank wall behind me. Maybe we do
Look
that.
at that thing, dude.
I
That's
think-
Matt Dillon has the American flag.
I think
Yeah.
He makes a second painting, man. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
I think the problem
It's
is,
like a
if you took
summer-
that
Wait,
down,
wait a
you
second. Let's
probably
examine.
can't
Let's examine what you're saying. Like,
So I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
get my
like
setup here real good. And
it reflects.
you're saying that this is beautiful.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's not.
Is anyone
No.
arguing against that?
everybody's arguing
I
against
can't
that.
hear.
I don't mind that.
So nobody said anything. Yeah.
So let's flip the camera around. We'll give it a real good go here.
Yeah, look at that. Silk screen.
Oh, your coffee table moves.
Yeah, it's got wheels. That's silk screen. All right. It's probably on like some sort of t-shirt material.
That was someone's frock.
Yeah.
It had blood on it when I got
Let's
it.
give it a something out of 10, guys.
No, wait a minute.
This painting right here is something out of 10.
12 out of 10.
Let's hear the voices. And I'll read the chat. I'll read the chat and Twitter.
I think it's an 8. I think it's an 8.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
So on YouTube we got a 3.
What?
Somebody gave you a 9. There's a 7. There's a 69 out of a 420.
69,
3.
yeah.
It's okay. I didn't say it was the most amazing.
All over somebody gave you a 1. There's another 1.
1.
Everybody's all over the board. Either people think it's amazing or they think it's a 1.
Well, the amazing ones are the high IQ people
Charles.
with
I
fine
have a-
taste and.
I have a really good
Alright.
idea.
This is Nova. Like this is honestly the best part of the night. This is the best person ever. Come over here. Come over here, Nova.
That painting.
Come over here.
I think we put elastic on it to make it into a skirt for the Antifa.
Oh. Got your bottom jaw. I got your maxilla. I got your maxilla.
Your dog's a 10.
Somebody make a GoFundMe for.
Let's get it. Let's get a 1 out of 10. Whatever.
Yeah.
Rate this dog.
Yeah.
Rate this dog on a scale of 10.
Nova is totally getting 10s and 11s.
How good of a boy?
So my painting.
Are you a good
thing
boy?
Is getting like.
Nova's a girl.
Nova got
Are you a good
20.
girl? Are you a good girl?
She's getting 12.
Are you a good girl?
12.
Who's a good girl?
She's getting all 10. She's
Uh,
Whoa, 10 plus.
Oh, they got
0 out
9.
of
Ryan
10.
gave it a 9.
What?
Yeah.
Who gave Nova a 9?
Ryan.
Ryan, you dick.
Ryan, what the hell? Nova's amazing.
Was a good dogger.
Yeah, Justin.
Get up. Get up in my lap. You need to be in my lap right now. You need to be in my lap.
Just a 9? Wow.
Oh, buddy. You gave it a 9.5. Come on.
Two for leading the brisket.
So does Nova make that painting look better?
Nova makes. Wait, does Nova make the painting better, though?
Okay, we literally still have 199 people watching.
Hey, Phil, just take a picture of Nova and hang it where that picture is. There you go.
Just stay there.
So
Josh.
they say
Nova's tail right there. You don't stay there. Stand up.
The hell? People hate that. Can we just throw it out the window right now?
What?
I'll throw it out the window.
No. Leave your
No, I
fucking
will.
picture.
I'll film you. I'll film me throwing it out the window.
I will. I'll light it on fire.
Did you get it? Did you get it at good? I just want to know, like, honest question, really nicely, kind of. Did you get it at Goodwill?
I did. And then the lady there goes. The lady at the Goodwill.
Film Nova's tail coming out of Josh's penile area.
Yeah. Don't do that. I can see your two rolls. Listen.
It looks like he's freaking laughing.
Now listen. You have to take me very seriously.
Oh shit. Oh
We were
fuck.
having
Now
a
listen.
very nice conversation.
Oh my god. Sorry.
It was Nova's fault. We had a
Yeah.
good conversation, and then Nova came in. Look at, she's a lover though.
Have you guys heard
Look
of
at this.
Picasso?
You guys don't love this?
It's a Picasso?
Yeah.
It's a poop Picasso, Josh.
Uh,
A poop Picasso.
What a lover
the guy
dog.
that sold to me did have.
What a
poop
lover
on it.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah. But
It's a feces fresco. It's a poop Picasso. It's a shitty picture, Josh.
Oh,
But we like it because
yeah,
it's yours.
you guys aren't well versed in the art world. You guys know who Andy Warhol is?
Yeah?
Oh.
He made
The
soup.
Campbell soup.
Yeah, he made.
He
the
cooked.
cans.
He was the guy that cooked a bunch of.
Campbell's picture.
He cooked a bunch of
He
soup.
painted it.
Yeah, no, he made the cans.
No, he made
The
soup.
labels.
He made chicken noodle soup.
Yeah,
Don't lie.
yeah. You've had
Don't
when you were
film me.
sick with the coronas. You probably had some of his.
I'm trying to stay behind him.
Chat, have you guys had corona before?
Corona.
The Corona.
Yeah, the coronavirus.
Virus or the beer?
I don't want to say so online.
The beer. The beer. He's talking about
So it sounds like you have.
No, I don't drink nothing.
Modelo.
Have you had Dos Equis in the flu? It's similar.
Yeah, dude. I can have to go cruise at Tom.
Okay. So.
Went from all the dicks to playing with Upper. And I am okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, do you want?
5 people watching.
Well, we dropped it by half then. Because we had 199 before he started playing with the dog.
The 181 right now.
So,
This is far better quality.
Yeah. This is high quality film right here.
No,
This is better than that.
Yeah, just more. And the new birds will come. And the police. Bring more viewers. Which will bring
Nova.
which will bring
Sit.
more viewers.
Oh, it's a good dog. You sat and you laid down. You rolled on your belly. Oh. Oh.
don't do it. Don't do it. It's a bad luck for our stream.
All right, YouTube chat. Give Nova a scale of 1 out of 10. YouTube chat, scale of 1 out of 10 for Nova. 1 out of 10 for Nova. Everybody right now. Everybody in YouTube. Give Nova a 1 out of 10. We got a 10, we got a 10, we got 11, we got 11, we got a 10, we got a 10. All 10s and 11s, so we got a 420 at 100. 10 plus plus, 11. Spazilla gives a 1. Screw you, Spazilla.
Spazilla did?
Somebody gave a 9.7.
That's because Spazilla knows Nova. He gave her a 1.
What's a good dogger? All right. Got my doggo fix. I got my doggo fix.
Fixed your doggo.
My doggo therapy fix. Plug in back to the power here.
Is that how you stay sane? Just doggo?
Seriously, no, man. Like, just petting a dog and playing a dog with now and then. Keep you sane, dude. Keeps me sane.
Dogs are awesome.
Dog ranked higher than Josh. Thank you, Frank.
Nova is being restreamed on another site. What site?
And Nova's gonna be a
Curtis
famous.
Maximus. What site is Nova on?
Nova's gonna be a famous doggo. Famous doggo.
Probably with Josh's abuse of her tail at some dog porn site. Nova's
You're
a
my
star.
money ticket, Nova.
Yeah.
Listen,
Nova's a movie star.
we got a 60-40 deal. Okay, I get 60.
Said we should get doggos for security.
Yeah. Get 40 walks.
My little 9-pound dog has been at a couple places. In my
Alright.
purse.
And go for another one. Let's check and see if I can do another one. ZYXWVUTSRQBLMLJKH
Sober.
I cheated a little bit, but I think I got it there.
You got most of it.
I got it. I might have mumbled the last part of it, but I'm still coherent. Do I have eye stagnant? What's it called?
We don't know.
You got the vowels.
Stagnus? I can't remember the name of it. But let's see. We'll do the test. And you guys decide if my eyes have nystagmus.
Ryan Pendleton. He's drinking Pendleton. Whiskey.
So this is the test that officers do to determine you're drunk. So what you look at is my eyes. And when I'm looking at my finger over here, if my eye points straight at that, then I'm not drunk. But if my eye bounces while I'm staring at this, then that's a sign of intoxication. So you guys decide. I can't see it. I'll look at the video later, and I'll see. So you guys tell me. So I'm gonna do the nystagmus test. Nystagmus is what it's called. So if my finger's out here and I'm staring at the finger and my eye bounces, that's a sign of intoxication. If my finger's out here and I stare straight at it and there's no bouncing, then I'm not intoxicated. So you guys decide. So we'll see if I have nystagmus.
I think
Laser
this
focus.
test and what you're trying to do just gotta proves that you're drunk either way.
We're talking about legally drunk. Am I legally drunk though?
Oh my god,
Laser focus like a lizard eyes.
you use the dog's tail as a penis, you're drunk.
Josh.
That was at my encouragement.
Josh Ozo used the dog's penis. Oh no.
Oh no. The dog's penis for.
He used the dog's tail to simulate a
The
penis.
dog does not
There's
have a
no way to
penis.
talk
The
about
dog
this.
is a female.
There's no way to talk about this appropriately. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and then I'm gonna ask the chat and YouTube to tell me, do I have nystagmus or not?
Look, Villain, can you see the shot glass?
What shot
Is
glass?
there more than one?
Yeah.
There's 174 people watching
There's-
you take this shot.
There's several shot glasses.
You need the straw.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
They already saw
I
me
thought
take
he
a
almost
shot.
ran the other.
Who didn't drink their shot?
Me.
What's
Wow.
I had mimosas.
Oh, there's other people drinking? I thought you were just being alcoholic.
Oh, he has more than one.
No, there's 3 of us here.
how many?
Oh, shit!
Good job.
How many
That's a
shot glasses do you guys see?
5.
There's only one.
Yeah.
They're blurred.
You guys are drunk. Chat's drunk.
Do it.
I think you're right, Sean.
You
There's
may be
literally
right, but I
one-
will wake up tomorrow and I will be sober, and you will still be ugly.
Yeah.
Who did he say?
Not like this,
I'm
though.
sorry.
To those
Sean.
of you who don't know, that's a quote by our president, Teddy Roosevelt. That is a quote from a president. Madam, I may be drunk, but when I wake up tomorrow, I will be sober and you will still be ugly.
That's awesome.
I love Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt said it to me.
He
And
was
his
badass.
fucking statue got pummeled today.
That's terrible, man. You let the
That's where
Rough
you get Teddy
Riders.
Bear.
Bullshit.
From-
Him and Abe Lincoln and the Oregon Historical
so-
That's where you
Society.
get Teddy Bears
Bullshit.
from.
I gotta finish
Tore
and
down
then
the leader of
shot.
the Rough Riders.
Yep.
I gotta go down and film the
That's
destruction.
Yeah, Rough
4
Riders.
statues so far. Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln here in Portland.
We're
Fags.
the Black Cavalry unit against the Portuguese. Those dicks.
They took down the Jefferson statue in New York City with the Native American and the black slave next to him.
They took down
He wants to take pictures.
what was the famous black abolitionist? Frederick Douglass, Rochester, New York.
Yeah, I remember when they took that down, and the rioters didn't even understand what they were doing.
Why are blacks not just
They
wiping
tore
them
that
out?
And Abe Lincoln tonight.
That's a riddle.
And broke the Oregon
I
Historical
posted
Society.
that on my social
windows.
media, and I asked
And
for anybody
destroyed
to
some-
say why
Huh?
the
Huh?
Frederick
People
Douglass.
swarm us?
Nobody could give me an answer. Absolutely nobody. But when it comes to Washington and Jefferson, all they can come up with was slavery. But they're judging the past on modern
What's gonna be?
rules and that stuff. It
Did you
confuses
see how he
the hell
drank
out of me.
that?
That's pretty good.
Hey, it worked.
Villain, you're creating so many ways on how to get drunk secretly, and I love it.
Do you know how to do waterfall shots? Let's see you do waterfall shots.
Waterfall shot.
That's where you have like 3 shots in your fingers and one slightly lower than the other, and you end up pouring one shot into another glass, and then into your mouth when you get shot.
That sounds like a
That's
job for a
good.
sober man.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
That's
I used to 10 bar.
Like if you can do that, you gotta be in the circuit.
What you do is you have like 3 different colored liqueurs, and so you mix them.
liqueur.
Yeah, baby. But yeah, you elevate them. The back one is gonna be the highest, and then the middle just below that. So when you're pouring one, when you're drinking the one, it's pouring the last shot, and then second one.
Wouldn't be fucking afraid.
He's going
Guaranteed.
for the straw again.
Is that psycho?
And then of course there's just that wino shit
I
right
don't
there.
just know that.
Well, now it's
Does
white.
it work? Like, is it
Now
efficient?
it's white because it's inside out.
Yeah, super chat here.
Hair underwear.
Super chat here.
It was from Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum 47. Feminism is the driver of the downfall of humanity, and yes, you're drunk. How now, brown cow? She sells seashells down by the seashore. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S.
HIV.
Oh,
T.
damn it.
TUB.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
You are drunk.
HIV, STD.
HIV, STD.
I have all 3. Wait, no.
Hell no.
Get off our Discord.
We don't want to catch.
Infected.
We don't want to catch you
Yeah.
dripping in a pus.
Yeah.
3 days later, go see the doctor.
How do you know that?
It's an old rap song.
I think the dog's already put up with your shit.
Yeah, the drunker he gets, the more he's gonna hang out and get his dog. So that's not how the street's gonna end up. That's how it always goes.
I have a bunch of breakfast food, and once I get off the stream, I'm going to go eat a bunch of breakfast food, drunken.
It's called Brenner.
3:30 in the morning. The hell you mean breakfast?
It's called Brenner.
3:30 in the morning, is that?
No, oh, we're
Yeah.
we're midnight here.
No, it is
It's
12,
midnight.
12:15
We're
here.
West Coast, man. We're
You-
in Portland.
Jersey Shore.
Where'd you think we were?
Get the
Where'd
Jersey
you think
Shore
we
in
were?
here.
Somewhere in the United States.
You don't even have
Where
the
are
fun
you from,
accent to be
American
over in that
Phoenix?
weird
Are you in
climate.
I'm in
Phoenix?
Virginia.
But why are you American Phoenix if you're in Virginia?
The Phoenix is not to do with the
Oh.
kind of the city. It's
That's
it's
America.
an idea. It's a
America.
it's a philosophy.
I used to live in D.C.
Rise from the ashes.
Nice.
But
I'm
my favorite
a little bit
accent
outside
is
these.
Jersey Girls and Santa Baby. Like when girls are attractive and they talk like Santa Baby. Like I can't. There's no.
What is Santa Baby?
Santa Baby. It's a Christmas song.
Yeah, I know, but like, is there an accent to that?
Yeah, it's a Jersey accent.
Oh.
It's sexy. And
my.
an attractive woman that talks to me in that accent, like she just owns
New
me.
York.
I got no
Boston,
defenses against
Southern
that.
are the best American accents.
I love Boston.
Baston.
Boston.
When I'm talking about my
Favorite-
khakis, am I
favorite
talking about a
city.
device that makes my car drive, or am I talking about a pair of pants, my khakis?
I'm walking here. New York. Love those.
Peanuts, hot dogs, ketchup, peanuts, hey.
Oh, that was awesome. Who was that?
You need to do that one again. Come on for round 2 on that.
Come get your peanuts and your hot dogs, the fresh hot dogs right over here. Come get 'em.
Oh, that's the best.
You were trained and well versed in that, my
We need a
man.
freaking commercial like that. A villain report commercial.
Going, Phoenix, right here. Watch the nose. It's hot, it's fresh, it's an anarchist riot.
like Hot Dog Andy, Portland
Yeah.
Andy, and all
Yeah.
his little sound bites he got.
That's awesome.
I do all kinds of work. I do music, I do voiceover, I do all kinds of shit.
Dope.
Artwork, 3D modeling. But, yeah, man, you need some flair for your shit. I ain't even charge.
If you guys need any
Yeah.
penis,
I don't wanna
if
ask
you
you a
guys
question,
need any
though.
penis modeling,
Penis modeling.
I'm not the
He
guy,
said
but I'm
penis.
willing to do it. If you're paying, I will do it.
Oh
But
my god.
Hey, look. It's not a profession, but $20 is $20.
True.
So
it's not gay if it's for a Klondike bar.
That's called a Klondike bar.
that answers the question of what you will do for a Klondike bar.
What you would do for a Klondike bar.
Hey, I'm just saying I'm not a grower. I'm not a grower. I'm not a shower. What is it? I'm
Yeah.
a little drunk,
You're
guys.
either a grower or a shower.
I'm not a shower,
You're
but
a
I'm
little
a
drunk.
grower. I've got a magical beanstalk.
Oh my god.
I love how we've learned more about his penis in one night than his entire face throughout his entire career.
He'll be
You don't know who I am. I could stop streaming tomorrow and go back into the regular world, and nobody will ever attach this to me.
Don't.
I'm gonna go into the wind.
I don't know who you are.
He's Nancy
Don't know who you
Pelosi.
are, but I know how big your dick is.
He's villain Pelosi.
It's okay. It's okay.
Pelosi.
It's okay.
You should lie
Okay.
about that since no one.
I'm sorry, I need proof or it didn't happen.
No, thank you, good sir. I decline.
Said the person offering penis modeling.
Yeah. There was a gentleman a gentleman that begged me for a fellatio yesterday. I declined his offer as well.
He begged.
Well, he got down on his knees.
Did he? I didn't see that. That was messed up.
I haven't gotten into like the video footage and stuff, but that has happened before in Portland rallies for other people, and I'm wondering if that's the same person or it's just a tactic that they use, or if that's the same person.
Well, I'm sure it's a tactic. Don't you think so?
I don't know, but I was thinking that I'm gonna carry a giant flappy dildo in my pocket from now on, and if that ever happens again, I'm gonna pull out my flappy dildo and smack him in the face with it.
I think you should make sure it's one with a suction and just slap it to your forehead and then smack it in the face.
She knows about the
Hey, villain.
what we're talking about.
I looked on Twitch, and I'm watching a Twitch channel called Live Now Media, and they have around 260 people watching, and you are one of the panels on there.
Oh.
So, how many, alright, let's see, it's 177 plus 60, we got 400, over 400 people are watching you talk about dildos.
And he has to have fun
Could be
sometimes.
Portland Andy too. You should check Portland Andy. That's probably another 500 right there.
This is probably this last hour is like the most I've let loose on like public stream. So
we know.
You need it now.
KCG said, yes, suction it to your forehead and then you can be a unicorn.
a unicorn, a penis
A
unicorn.
penis corn.
Yeah.
Dildo corn.
I'm gonna support the D. Like
The
I
D.
got my boys. Like you guys are all attacking the patriarchy, but like we're the D club.
You know what would
Penises
be
are
really
wonderful.
funny? If the Patriots came instead of holstered guns and had like holstered dildos and then like drew them really fast and then just started smacking Antifa with big giant
But the thing
purple dildos.
is the leftists, they have all those like really extreme, like disturbing sexual fetishes.
Yeah.
So they might like it.
Yeah, they would like
They
it.
may try to suck on it, then you just smack
That
it
would get
even
them all
more.
excited and
Then you go.
This is gone. This is going to affect my my streaming from here on out. All my conservative followers are going to see this. I'm evaluating my life choices right now, and I've made some bad choices tonight. We've gone into a raunchy place tonight.
Keep going, Dave. If you ever open up a P.O. box, you're gonna get so many dildos, I swear to God.
Oh my God!
Send
Can
me,
I get them all?
send me,
I
send,
need more
send
in my
me all the
collection.
dildos. I will
Yes,
use them, and
please.
I will launch them on a catapult at people that I don't like.
If they're inferior
Send me
quality,
dildo weapons.
If they're inferior quality, launch them. If they're good
I
quality
hate how
dildos,
excited
I like
you were
them.
about that idea. I just hate how excited you were about that idea.
That people were gonna send me dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah, send me all those dildos. I will use them.
No used
You're
ones,
not gonna use
Natasha.
them,
Only
but-
new.
You know those slingshots where like it takes 3 men, like 2 men hold it and 1 guy pulls it. There'll be some dildos flying around Portland.
If you shoot them backwards and they have the suction thing, then you can just shoot them in like really high places, and they'll stick.
No stick. I shoot it up on the Ted's apartment building.
Oh my God!
And they'll drop down later.
That would be so fun.
All right, I'm gonna do this magical thing right now. I'm gonna snap my fingers. Snap, snap, snap. None of this happened. So, what do you guys think about the current political climate? Like, there's this Antifa mayor and there's Ted Wheeler. Who's gonna win?
Not Antifa.
She's winning.
Well, in the polls, she's winning. I don't know if I believe polls necessarily.
How do you feel about the polls with Joe Biden winning the polls right now?
Is he winning the polls?
Angry Widow, Navy
According to
SEAL.
CNN, and
You're
pretty
right,
much
I
every
do have really nice ones.
outlet, he's winning like 53 to 46.
I'm more concerned about his awareness of that. Is he aware of these polls, or
Probably.
does he know that he's running for president?
I think thinks he's back. I don't know.
I'm gonna take a
Ryan
little.
says
I'm gonna
polls
take a
are
little sippy
rigged,
here.
and I kind of.
a
Ryan
little
did
sippy.
vote low for Nova, so I don't know.
Ooh.
Ryan.
So
Yeah, no,
his
Ryan, we
opinion-
don't exactly trust you.
Yeah, matters zero.
His entire just political matters are out the window
Oh.
because he voted low
Yeah.
for Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just never.
It's a
voted
valid
again
reason.
Again.
But shit's whack in America.
Thank you, Angry
This
Widow.
is not the
Baby
way you
Seal.
want to drink whiskey. It's not pleasant. Whiskey.
Looks good. It's a flexi straw.
I'm dedicated my anonymity.
Ryan says he's Australian and he's a Trumper.
There you go.
Good boy.
I like
Whiskey through a straw
I
is
want to know
not,
why
not
Ryan
wonderful.
didn't think Nova was the prettiest dog in this room.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
And Pupper.
Why do you think this stuff is happening all over the world at once? It's like we're not the only ones with anti.
I think here it's because you have a bunch of bored freaking kids.
I've answered that question many times, and this is my opinion. The Western world is the dominant power today. I can hear my tongue not obeying my commands and my voice.
Your tongue. Yes.
You're being coherent.
I know, but I can also tell my tongue is not following my orders. Do what I say, tongue. Enunciate the things that I demand you to enunciate. But anyways, I think that the Western world, the Western worldview, the Western power, the Western mindset is the dominant philosophy in the world today. It's the most successful philosophy in the world. But it abandoned the religious foundations that it had. It abandoned Christianity. I'm going to burp. I'm not going to burp.
Yeah, man.
He's gonna burp.
So the dominant worldview today abandoned the mythology behind it and the structures that created the ability for people to have hope in the afterlife and to conceptualize God. We abandoned all that and called it nonsense. So the most powerful philosophy in the world today is telling people that there's no hope in God. And so all these people are hopeless. They're kind of grabbing onto different movements. In the black community, there's the gang culture, and they're trying to click up with different gangs. In the prosperous, affluent white community, they're trying to click up with corporations and trying to become CEOs and trying to buy that American dream. The proletariat, the low classes in America, they're hopeless, and they're lashing out against the government. The constitutionalists, they're lashing out against the government. Those that don't have any need to provide for themselves, but they're living affluent lives, are aligning with the proletariat, and they're lashing out against many different things. But ultimately, I believe that the mythology, the religious, theological foundation of our culture has been destroyed, and nobody has any way to find hope that is unshakable. So everybody's running around trying to grasp onto these mindsets that are easily poppable, and anybody touches them, they pop. And so nobody wants to talk to each other because they don't want their worldview to be fucked up. I think we need a great leap forward in religion, a great leap forward in theology. We need to update our understanding of God, because most people that are updating their understanding of science and philosophy are not also updating their understanding of the deity and theology, and they're rejecting God. And I think that's an error. But I also think the other side is erroring when they're holding tight to their belief in God, but they're not updating their understanding of science or philosophy, and they're becoming backwater people that have a faith in God, but they don't want to acknowledge that the theory of relativity makes their cell phones work. I think we need to update our mythology. God is infinite, and we are finite, and we need to accept that, and we need to be humble and try to update our understanding of the unknowable. I believe in God very deeply. I don't think we can wrap our minds around him. But I think it's... Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. You know what you were doing in the park to be talking to that guy?
What are you saying?
I'm saying I think we can, though. I've read the book a lot. We're told that we're supposed to. See, it's pretty simple.
Well,
Righteous is
let's
righteous,
back up.
right?
Let's back up a second. You said in the park with that guy. What are you saying?
It's exhibited in that park, and that guy. You know, he didn't have any wonderful story about why he got kicked down to the bottom. He didn't have any wonderful story about how he's going to climb back up.
Are you talking about the wheelchair guy? The wheelchair guy?
No, not the wheelchair guy. The dude that was just sitting at the park bench. His old lady left him, and he just said, you know, my old lady left me.
Okay, the homeless man. The homeless man this morning.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was after I've watched a bunch of times just talking to normal folk, you know what I mean? Just trying to get people to open up about, you know, why it is people are where they are. And that's really crucial for us to understand, you know, because I think it was Robin Williams, right? I mean, I really don't care for the guy too much, but he said a few good things. He said, everybody's fighting a battle of their own that you don't know anything about, so be kind. And, you know, you approach that, and so, you know, you do understand God. And the Bible tells us we absolutely have to, and it tells us this is how we do it. You know, this is why we're here. We're here to be compassionate and to understand, because immortal life, see, we take all this with us. And in order to be free, we have to be capable of doing what we ought not do. But, you know, it's like the curiosity. Curiosity is that forbidden fruit, you know. You don't have to know everything. You know, I've read the Bible hundreds of times. You know, it has a beginning, a middle, and end. It doesn't tell you everything. You know, you just know. It automatically assumes that we know. It automatically assumes that deep down in we know we should when we see people hurt. And you know, the whole Bible doesn't have any story in it of anybody going to hell except for one time. Jesus tells a story about this dude. His name was Lazarus, and he was rich. No, he was a rich dude, and the rich dude is given no name. He's just a rich man, and he lives luxuriously. And there's this poor dude named Lazarus who is sick outside his house, and he lives there, and he's so poor and sick that the dogs lick his sores and stuff. And this dude just steps right over the top of him and lives his life. And Jesus said that when both men died, one woke up in torments and flames. And it had nothing to do with him falling with some false god or him committing some murder or none of that. It had to do with the fact that he just neglected what he could have easily fixed right outside his door. And that's why I say every man according to his work. That's the only way forward. If we don't get that, then we're going to descend into feudalism and civil war.
I'm kind of I try to.
But you understand.
I try not to share my thoughts too much because I don't want to depress people, because I want to offer hope. But I'm kind of black pilled on the on society right now. I think we're headed.
You're in the spot. You're in the hot spot, man. Listen, there is like 349 million people that have no part in it. This is all being forced on them. Society is good, dude.
But what you said is also something that you need to take into consideration. There are 349 million people that don't have any part in this. They're just sitting on their couch and they're not standing up for anything. They're gonna let things happen.
Well, you know, they'll push it to the point of bloodshed. But my point is this, it's a big mouth on the image, but there's nothing behind it. It's a paper tiger. You know, this is why they threaten you. They threaten you because they don't, it's not that they don't want you to see their crimes. They let people stream their crimes. They were liking it when it was working towards terror for them. But they don't like it when you're talking to people. They don't like it when you're streaming. You know why he didn't want you streaming the park that day? Because today, why that dude was all up on you? Because he doesn't want the world to see that park looks like shit.
Yeah.
That whole place looks like shit. Okay, that's what they brought. They didn't bring any sweet art or wonderful memories or see. Nobody's breaking their heart when they drive by one of their memorials for Breonna Taylor.
I was showing an unbiased picture of that nasty, disgusting rib shack. He didn't want that happening.
You're just showing what it is. You just showed the pictures. That's in the world. See, they don't want you showing what's in the world. Okay, but when what's in the world is already out, their time is limited. They don't even understand. And the only thing that's holding them
I'm gonna pause you for a second.
I'm sorry, brother.
What is your name?
My name is Howard. I'm the sneak in your Discord.
The Sneak. I appreciate you a lot, man, because you're articulating your point of view and you're sharing ideas with me that are encouraging me. I'm having a hard time because I want to love everybody. You know, I want to treat everybody like the way I want to be treated. But I'm meeting all these people. That guy, Phil, that came up and started accosting me the minute he saw me. There's no conversation that you can have with these people.
No, and you're not supposed to have a conversation. Yeah. You didn't want to have a look. You know the little wheel guy. Look.
Hot Wheels,
he may be an agitator, Dustin, right?
Dustin,
he
yeah.
may be an agitator, all right? But here's the thing. He actually knows what he's talking about, right? He brings his facts. And he'll steal short, okay? But he's actually on a crusade. He believes, okay? But you got to remember something about what's going on. The goal is not a socialist utopia. The goal has always been, and for hundreds of years, my friend, has always been revolution. It's revolution that wipes away the history. It's revolution that turns villains into martyrs. And you know what I mean? Mafias into governments. It's the only way you can steal land. The only way to steal land is to kill the people living on the land and to burn all of the records of who owned the land and to get rid of the religion that tells them they have the authority to hold on to their land.
That's why I'm freaked out tonight that the rioters attacked the museum tonight in Portland. Like that is
what type of museums?
The Oregon Historical Museum.
Fucking hang them.
But remember this. Look, you want to know why people ride down the big old LGBT parade down Weedlebrook, the Main Street, with nothing but Christians there, with little kids and chaps, you know, riding the big purple dildo? They're doing it to agitate. They lead the right in the streets, fighting them. Without us, they have no existence. They don't even belong there. They're just doing nothing but fucking everything up. They will push and push, and that's why they're getting hostile. That's why they're getting deadly. Because they want to. If they don't kick off that civil war, it's over for these people that have been running this shit. And I believe that we are in a biblical time, man. This is a world-changing time.
I know. I'm really, really, really bad with names. I've almost got a photographic memory, but when it comes to names, it puts a wrench in my brain. What's your name I'm talking to again?
The Sneak.
Do you have Twitter?
Yeah. I'm the Truth Trolls.
Send me a DM on Twitter because I really honestly like what you're saying and I want to keep this dialogue going on.
Yeah, you bet, man. I'll let you go back. You know what?
No, I'm not trying to shut you down right now. I'm not trying to end the conversation, but I want to make sure before the conversation ends, I want you to hit me up on Twitter so that we can talk about this because you're very well articulated and I like what you're saying.
Thank you, man. You know, it's tough being a Christian. It's tough. I'm older, and so I've really been in the storm. I'm back all the way back in the 80s. You know, they really started attacking Christianity and good people and veterans. That's when they really started attacking patriotism. And they were getting so bad, they were trying to say that, you know, Christians didn't have their children taken out of their houses because they're bad parents. My parents were the most wonderful parents on earth. They never taught me to be racist of any kind.
Yeah, and what's crazy what they're slipping in there, when they're saying that the children should be taken out of the home for this reason, what they're trying to get you to focus on the bad thing that they're trying to get you to like think about. But what's really happening, and they're sliding past your eyes, is that children should be taken out of the homes of parents.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter what the emotional justification is. The state is trying to take children away from their parents.
I feel like, going back to what you said, that BLM and Antifa are destroying the historical museums. Now, I understand if it's one thing with a monument and one thing, because they've been doing that for years. But if they're destroying historical museums, I feel like that kind of represents what type of people they are. They want to destroy history in every way possible.
It's not even a historical museum. Right? It's not even a historical museum. It's the Historical Society of Oregon.
It's a repository.
It's like an archive.
Yeah, it has like old
This is not just a museum. You can categorize it as a museum, but what it is like I don't know. It's like in a video game when you do your save space and you save everything. That's what that place is. They're documenting and saving all the artifacts from history. So for the rioters to attack that is not mob-think. That is not a violent mob just randomly doing something. That is a directed and targeted attack by Marxists.
You know, that even though it might be a bit of a stretch, that truly reminds me of how the dying days of World War II, and even as the Nazis were being pushed back in with fronts, they were destroying evidence left and right of the war crimes and just everything. They were burning down concentration camps and burning papers and mass executing everybody so that there would be no evidence of what they did there. Honestly, that reminds me of that. They're trying to burn evidence of the past so we don't know what happened, so they can kind of recreate that away. They don't want the past to come up again to kind of say, hey, this was a bad time in history, so why are you trying to recreate it? But they're trying to burn all that down so we can't say that. And it's fucking bullshit. Now they're trying to burn down historical evidence. And that's where I put my foot down.
I agree. It's getting crazy. And I hate to think the next step that we need to take. I hate all this stuff. On that note, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, you're too drive drunk.
You're too drive drunk?
He's got rides.
I am on a couch that I will pass out on right now, so
with the puppy in hand, you shall have a good night.
It's a pillow right there.
Puppy pillow.
It's a good puppy pillow.
Pillow.
Nixon said it right when he said he made a Frankenstein by opening the world up to the CCP And that's what gave Marxism a foothold in the U.S. and around the world. Before that, Marxism, communism, socialism was frowned upon through most of the world.
Let me give you a different perspective. So all the men in this chat that are disturbed by what's happening in the world, think about your masculine desire for adventure and danger. We are entering into a time that's going to be complete chaos. The governments are going to collapse. The order is going to collapse. You know, it's going to be a fight between who can survive. Valhalla, motherfuckers. Grab onto your masculinity, enjoy the ride.
I got a priest running in the other room, prepping food.
The next couple of decades are going to be pretty harsh, but for those who can handle it, it's going to be pretty adventurous.
Yes, sir.
Valhalla. 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 Sack up, motherfuckers.
Did you get my picture today, or did I just send it to you?
Again, I've been saying for a while, November 3rd will be the deciding factor.
It doesn't matter what happens on December 3rd. If Trump wins, there's going to be riots.
If Trump loses,
and if Trump loses, there's going to be riots. There's going to be riots after the election. It's going to get nasty.
That there's going to be some to break before then. It's going to crush it all.
What'd you say? Say that again, buddy.
I'm just saying, I got a sneaking suspicion something's about to pop that's going to crush it all.
The only thing I can think of that would match that prediction would be an assassination. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't say that. Don't even put that in the energy.
Yeah.
I mean,
who are you,
Yeah.
sneaky lurker?
I think one of the reasons why Trump doesn't want to release the report
Hey, I'm back.
is because it's going to indict Biden, and they don't want to do it right before the election because the media will want to turn around and say Trump is trying to do a political ploy to remove his adversary.
So I have
if he lets it release afterwards and they take him down,
I have a crazy conspiracy theory that can never be proven, but I believe that the second presidential debate got canceled because Trump just had COVID, and they could have claimed that Joe Biden got COVID and that he could have died from COVID, and that could have been justification for a coup.
Yep.
I honestly think that's why the second debate got canceled.
I like the way
Is it fully canceled, or is it?
It's fully canceled right now.
It's fully canceled. It's done.
Bullshit.
It's gone.
And the third debate moderator, she deleted her Twitter feed, so no one can actually see what she's been saying. There's been a couple of things that have come out, but I can't confirm anything, so I'm not going to say it.
Is the third debate moderator a Democrat again?
Yes.
Yes.
How? What?
Always will be.
What?
There will never
What?
be a
What?
Republican.
What?
The Democrats
How?
control
What?
the committee.
Seriously, guys. What? Every debate is a extremely biased moderator. What?
The only people on the committee that pick the moderators are either never Trumpers or Democrats. There's not a single actual true Trump supporter in the committee.
They have hostile.
All I'm gonna say
Trump
is that
still going to be in Florida on the 14th, though, doing a rally.
Yes.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is
the
reason
14th.
why South Carolina seceded was because of President Lincoln's election.
Correct.
So it's happened before. Not saying it'll happen again. All I'm saying is that was the thing that kicked everything off. So I don't know.
On that note, the rabbit hole of South Carolina and the election, we're gonna call it a night. I gotta call it a night. My mods hate me right now.
No, we don't.
She
Yes, they do.
she hate me. She hate me.
Not even.
They fall asleep with your drunkenness and the puppy. Yeah. Great to meet you, man. It was an amazing couple hours spending time with you. It's amazing.
Sorry, I came in late. I was.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I think we all need to go to bed.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh.
Even through the technical difficulties, it was informative. And you guys are awesome.
Yes.
All of you. And Howard.
I hope.
And little man, high schooler, history buff. I heard your heartbreak when you heard about the history museum. There you go. There's a job opening for you, buddy. Portland. Dylan's gonna hook you up with the history museum.
I'm a history major.
I hate those bastards. I hate those bastards.
See, that's what college does for you.
Oh,
Talk about helping the Roman empires.
I won't say where I work, but I love history.
Yeah, no, you're all good.
She's a hooker. I can't. It's a villain report. I gotta tell you the truth. I gotta tell you the truth, you guys. Like,
All right,
if
bye,
she's
guys.
if she's a hooker, I gotta tell you, I can't jeopardize my journalistic
Hey.
integrity.
Hey, I don't get paid for it.
She's a hooker.
I'm just really good at it.
She gets paid for it.
He's so full of shit, you guys. I am not a hooker.
She's a professional whore.
Well, you wish.
All right, you guys. On that note, you guys have a good night.
These guys on Discord were like, what the hell?
Villain report out. You guys have a good night.
God.